telling you, and I don't know how
Okay.
y'all women are pushing back on this. Y'all have a knack to not want to even be touched.
Hmm.
We
Okay, I
we
see what you're
talking
saying.
about that. I listen. I'm all for sticking with a woman if she, you know what I'm saying, she gonna just give me oral like, hey, look, it's hurting down, or I just don't. I need something. I
Right.
need something. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
I just wanted
She
to,
got she got three interests, ways to penetrate her body. Like, there's nothing Astroglide can compensate for with a woman.
I know it's like men had this high sex drive, women need to perform. I get all that. Nothing wrong with that. However, when the roles are reversed, that's when it's like, oh, you want her to stick around and you can't perform for her.
But not Darwin. No, I don't got him saying that. He gonna say if he don't got no money, then she can bounce.
Well, let's talk about sexual performance though.
I don't know how he
When
was.
I met you, we were doing it all the time, and we that was a strong connection that we had.
Yeah, most women don't aren't like that though. Most women, that's not like that's not their the thing that they want out of a relationship long term. They don't. I don't think they really had those complaints. I don't know. I could be wrong, but
What you mean?
it's typically the man that complain about sex. That finds it an issue. Versus the woman who's like, oh, he not giving me enough sex these days. That's what I
Well,
found.
because usually women suffer in silence. The majority of women, they say, I don't know how true it is because I never experienced it, but they say women don't even know what an orgasm is. Y'all be thinking that y'all be slinging that thing out there, but when the women talk, they say, I don't even know you can do that.
No, women know what it is. They just know that your ass ain't the one doing it. That's what you misunderstood it. They know what it is because they felt it. They just know the motherfucker that they dealing with. Excuse my language. The person they dealing with is not putting it down. It's not in the spot and not getting them there.
Right, but the thing is that a lot of men believe that they are putting it down like that. And
Well, if
they are
that
the
women
main
is
reason, why it dried up like the Sahara Desert.
if a woman is leading a man to believing it's getting there, it's on her. That's our fault. She
I
should
agree.
be transparent and honest enough to disclose to him that, hey, look, you're not doing it for me, so that he can figure out and do something different. But for her to just leave him out here thinking that he's the man, that's on her. And I think a woman is disgusted for that.
I agree
Yeah, we
with that.
wouldn't even be in a relationship if that was the case.
I think a lot of women lead men on though. I think a lot of women will get in a relationship with a man who she knows can't really do what she enjoys, but she'll lie to herself and then in turn be lying to him of like, yeah, I can deal with it, right? In her head she'll say that. And then after a while she might not be able to deal with most likely she won't be able to deal with it and then she'll end up like leaving because she want passion and all that type of stuff. But I think it's her lying to herself and lying to him, which is unfair to that person.
So do we forget about DJ Envy? How it took him about 20 years to figure out how to please his wife for 15, 20 years? Did we forget about that situation?
I don't know the details of that. But Jay,
No.
what was your
The
question
D,
before I was
the,
leaving?
Oh,
hmm.
so that's what we were kind of talking about. So I wanted to know. So you were saying basically, if the person that you're with cannot perform, you guys had that strong connection prior to you were, she was giving her her body, whenever you wanted it, and it worked. But then now you no longer can perform for her in
You
that
mean
way.
like I can't get up?
Yeah, you can't get up. It could be, I don't know, maybe stress. You have a lot of stress and it's affecting your ability
I
to
mean, that's
perform.
not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop me from performing. I can use my hands. I can use my mouth. I'm talking
But
about
what
the
if that's
cases
not
of,
what she wants? She doesn't.
well, well, we don't always do precisely what each other want. Do you always do things that you don't actually do in the bedroom? Y'all have limitations, but what I mean by you not putting out, period. You have cases. I'm telling you, and I don't know how
Okay.
y'all women are pushing back on this. Y'all have a knack to not want to even be touched.
Hmm.
We
Okay, I
we
see what you're
talking
saying.
about that. I listen. I'm all for sticking with a woman if she, you know what I'm saying, she gonna just give me oral like, hey, look, it's hurting down, or I just don't. I need something. I
Right.
need something. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
I just wanted
She
to,
got She got 3 entrances, ways to penetrate her body. Like, there's nothing Astroglide can compensate for with a woman.
And I would just say, like, I hear these stories too. I work with, a lot of people, and I hear complaints about, I haven't been with my wife for 3 years, and and I can't even imagine. I would never be in a situation where I was with somebody for that long and never give them sex, because I would want it. However, I do think that there are a lot, and I know we've talked about this before, briefly on the episode that I've been on, and I know Willie calls it BS, but there are reasons why certain women don't, like, have that lack of libido. And so anybody who's in the comments or watching, if you do, right, get a little boost of testosterone. That will
We
probably
already
increase
know.
your sex drive.
We did a study on this, and we already know like why y'all able to turn off, but the prostitute is able to keep going. It's just, first of all, y'all don't look at it y'all look at it as a chore. Secondly, most women are marrying men for stability and, I guess, their character. They're not really prioritizing sexual attraction and all that stuff. They
But I
will
would say, look at the.
prioritize system.
I was
It's
gonna say, I
easier
would look
for a
at the.
woman.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go
I,
ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm thinking you saying the prostitute. Yeah, but if you look at just say all the women in the world, I mean, what percentage is a prostitute?
So I would say there's more prostitutes than there are wives. There is more women that are having transactional
That's
interactions
crazy.
than men, and there are women who are married. I don't know how that can be crazy. If you We're talking about how many people in this nation alone is over 300 million people, and it's not close to the capacity of the people that's in this nation that's married. Women are getting boned, and they're all, and I would say the
They
likelihood
ain't
of them being a
prostitutes.
wife. Well, you can call, okay, they probably don't take up the title prostitute, but the very interaction that they're committing between men for an
Mm.
exchange for some type of deposit is deemed prostitution, whether you
Well,
want to
money
accept the
money
title or
That's
usually
not.
does.
insanity. That's
Money is
crazy
the
talk.
carrot dangling, and that usually will, people will do some things. People
I
will do
guarantee
some
you
things.
90% of those interactions would not go down if the man didn't make a deposit in some form of fashion. That is prostitution.
That is not prostitution. Not even close.
Okay, tell
Just
me what the
because a
difference is.
man
I
is
think
What is the
more
it's
difference?
often than not, people are having
What is the
transactional
difference?
sex
Okay, what
for
is the alternative to it?
nothing
What's the
versus
what is that called?
money.
Hold
Because
on, hold
that
on.
is
I
prostitution if
think
you're doing it for money.
I
But
think what has
Oh,
happened is that your idea is
I
screwed
got you.
over people that are in these communication spaces saying if a man ain't doing this and he ain't taking me and my friends out and you basing it on that. But in real life, most people are popping off of goddamn Netflix and chilling. They ain't spending no money on each other. Neither one of them. They just hang out long enough where they have a private space and then it goes down. Most people are not having this transactional sex that you are talking about. That is a fantasy world. That is a very small portion of the population. Most men can't even
Keep
afford it.
believing that. Keep believing that.
They can't even afford it. They could barely afford a goddamn Netflix subscription. You think they could afford $40 for some coon every weekend? Absolutely not.
Listen, I'm gonna get the floor to other people to talk. We can go down there. I would literally destroy you in the logic on that, but I'm gonna let somebody else talk on that.
I don't really want to dwell on that topic at all because I feel like it would just go on for too long. But I just want to comment on the previous topic about the point about
Can y'all hear her
whether or
or is it
not what
me?
was it why they left they separated or whatever.
Shit.
Because just
I'm
the
gonna leave and
missing
come back
piece,
then.
just the missing piece on um, her part, her point of view, and everything makes it difficult for me to really determine whether or not the whole whether or not it would be valid just to be non-biased with my opinion just because we don't really know what could have caused her to want to leave after 30 years because that is a long time to just be like, oh, I don't want to stay married to somebody. But I would think that if she made that decision after 30 years, it must be something very serious for her to decide that. So I mean, something else must be there. And as boisterous as he is, I don't think that if it was something that he caused, he would ever admit to that because of the type of personality that he has. So that's what I would get from it. From looking at seeing, but at the same time, I don't know him personally, so it may not be anything that has anything to do with him. But who knows if, let's say, he stayed with her after a stroke, and that does have some limitations, and you can see that visually from the pictures that he's had with her, that she has some limitations now. But you losing a limb, I would hope that that wouldn't be the only reason that she would want to leave. It just happens that to have happened after they, after she decided, well, before she decided to want to leave him. So it's going to look like that has something to do with it. I don't. I would hope that that's not the reason that she chose to leave, but it would seem that it would be something deeper than that to want to leave your husband after 30 years just because he a limb removed. It has to be deeper than that to me. That's all I wanted to say.
So in thinking about their relationship and broadening it out, I think people need to really look at that 30-year span and understand what longevity and vows such as better or for worse mean versus your convenience of certain situations and the dynamics. And when they change, it's not beneficial to you. That's not why you got married, just for things to be nice and cool. You got married to endure the hard times as well and to be that supportive partner that you signed up for. It's just that simple. The changes, of course, are going to be changes, but when you're in relationships of that long, it should be a balance. And I know that that could be difficult, but you have to continue to wear those many hats. Like when you become a partner, a wife, a mother, you have to make sure that you're not just using the children as a shield to hide behind the loss of intimacy and connection within your relationship. That's why a lot of people, after the children are gone, they leave the connection as well. And that could be devastating as well for you because you won't admit that there's something going on in your relationship. You rather stick it out for the kids, but the kids might do better if you all weren't together. And I get it. Trust me. I've been there and done that. I get that. But the uglier side of that is the kids don't see a healthy relationship. They see surface level interactions. They don't see the real truth of a holistic, supportive relationship. They just see you struggling and surviving to get through. But I leave that at that. In terms of the relationship, like I said, you still have to have that intimacy. And as older as we get, we change. You still are supposed to have transparent conversations about communication. I think a lot of times things happen in relationships and we don't speak on them, and they become elephants in the room. And sometimes, again, when the children and that silence comes, you don't have any other choice but to address that. And some of us just don't know how to handle that, so we leave. So again, effective and transparent communication, that's important. I think people have difference of intentionality as they grow. And again, they don't have that conversation. You could necessarily be moving in two different directions. I don't think you should be performing anything. I think you should move with authenticity. I get the term performance, but I also see it in two different ways. Maybe that's just me, but it's just that simple. I'm not performing for you. This isn't an act. I'm not an actress. I'm down for you. That's what I'm going to do. And that's not going to change per conditions. My performance will change because it's surface level per salary, who I'm in front of, again, the conditions and the dynamics. So I think we need to figure out what that means. I don't want to act. A relationship and a marriage isn't an act, but y'all can call it what y'all want to. I'm not even going to get into that prostitution and that mental illness. I'm going to leave that alone. I will end it with, I think, like I said before, it's all good when we initially get into relationships because it's like the fantasy honeymoon stage. And again, I think some of you all just don't have relational stamina to endure relationships, especially when times change and things, again, are not going the way that you want to. Just saying, you signed up to be a lifetime partner. That's what you signed up for. But I'll leave it there. I land.